I came across a very interesting article about injunctions and drivers. So I thought that maybe it is a good idea to talk about them today for those of you who did not heard about them until now. I was talking about injunctions and drivers a few days ago with one of my clients, and it was very useful, very helpful for that person because by talking about these injunctions and drivers, he had a chance to understand what was happening in his life. So, as you can see in this very interesting drawing, there is a guy. It looks like a guy, so let's assume that it is a guy who is in the water. Half of his body is in the water, under the water, and the other half is outside. And as you can see, there are some stuff tied to his legs, which seem to be bricks, and are doing their best to keep him underwater, to pull him underwater. And on the other hand, on the other side, actually, you can see some balloons which have the power to keep him outside of the water and to prevent him from drowning. So the exact thing is happening in our life. We have some stuff which we don't know about. They are somehow injected because their name is injunction. They are in a way injected in our mind and soul and our entire being when we are children by our parents, usually parental figures, you will see. And on the other hand, we find some solutions to keep ourselves safe and to prevent ourselves from drowning. And those balloons you can see here are actually having this effect. So let's talk about injunctions and drivers. But before jumping in the theory, let's define the two words for those of you who do not know about them until now. So as you can see here, let's start with injunctions. Injunctions are given in our early childhood, usually non-verbally. So for instance, we won't see our parents telling us do not feel emotions. So they are not saying this in words, but if you are crying, for instance, they will tell you stop doing that, stop crying. So it is about feelings in the end. So injunctions are given usually non-verbally. They come from our parents. And let's see what else is important, because I don't want to get too much into the theory. And yes, of course, often both of them, both the giving and the receiving of these messages occurs out of our awareness. So parents who are giving these injunctions are not aware of what they are doing, and on the other hand, we as children are not aware about what is happening and what we are taking inside our mind and soul. And the balloons from here are called drivers, and they are counter injunctions. So they are having this effect of countering the negative effect of our injunctions. These are given also in our childhood, but a bit later, not when we are very small. And they are telling you that we are okay as long as we are doing certain things. So just to offer you an example, because I was talking about don't feel, the injunction don't feel before, our parents can tell us you are okay if you try hard or be strong. If you are talking about emotions, usually don't feel is connected with be strong. So if you are crying, you're a little boy, for instance, and you are crying, and your parent is coming to you and asking you, why are you crying? Are you a little girl? Be a man. So what they are saying you is that it's not okay to feel. This is one of the injunctions. Yeah. So you're not a little girl. If you would be a girl, it would be okay to cry, but because you are a little boy, actually the invitation is to be a man, and to be a man is tied with other injunction: don't be a child. So don't behave like a child, don't cry, be strong. So it is these two, don't be a child and don't feel, are strongly tied with be strong, with the driver be strong. Be strong and somehow manage yourself, manage your emotions. Don't let your emotions to control your behavior. Which of course it is way too much to ask for a little child to do. Very often we adults do not know how to handle our emotions, so they are stronger than us from time to time, and we cannot ask a child to control his emotions, to understand what is happening. So let's take a look at injunctions to see what are they about. So one of them is it is don't feel. Like I said before, it is the invitation to not feel emotions. The other one is don't exist, do not exist. This is given when we have the feeling that somehow we are a burden for our parents. It would be better for them if you wouldn't be there. Again, sometimes parents are saying this in words: it would be better not to make you. And most often they are not saying it in this brutal way. So they are somehow suggesting that it would be better if we wouldn't exist. Another injunction is don't be close. This is happening when we somehow feel that we are not good enough to be close to other people. We do not belong. We have the feeling that we do not belong in the family, in our family. We have the feeling that we do not belong together with our friends. Somehow we are not good enough. We are not enough. Another injunction is don't grow up. This is about the parent who has the need for us to be a child. Sometimes parents are not ready to see that we are already grown ups, and even if we are 40 years old, they are still treating us like a child. Maybe we already are married and have our own child, and our parents are continuing to treat us like a child. So they are sending this message: don't grow up. Another injunction is don't belong. Yeah, this is somehow a bit similar with don't be close. Don't belong means that you are not part of the family. If you are different, if you have different needs, if you are not exactly like us, then it is better not to belong. And we have this feeling that we do not belong to our family, for instance. Another injunction is don't make it, don't succeed in life. This is happening when our parents are telling us that again we are not good enough, we cannot learn new things, we cannot develop in any other way, not necessarily in a mental way, and whatever we would like to do with our lives, we will not make it. Sometimes people are telling us that you're not good enough, you won't do anything with your life, you are so bad that you cannot do anything with your life, you're a loser, basically. Yeah, so when they are telling us that we are a loser, they are sending this injunction: don't make it, don't succeed in life. Another injunction is don't be important. Of course that when we are a child, we have needs, and sometimes our needs are too much for our parents. And in these kind of situations, they are telling us that it would be better not to have needs, because our needs are not important. What is important is their needs. What they want is more important than what we want. Another injunction is don't be you. Sometimes it happens that maybe our parents wanted a boy and we came out like a girl, and they are treating us somehow sending the message that we are not okay the way we are. We should be any other way. Or maybe we are too fat, and they are sending us the message that you're not okay because you are too fat. You should be slimmer, you should be fit and so on. So don't be you. You're not okay the way you are. Another injunction is don't think, do not think. Again, sometimes parents are sending us the message that we are not maybe clever enough to think by ourselves, and it is better for us to let them do the thinking part. So, what they are creating is a relationship when we learn to think with their heads. And this is beneficial for them because in this way they are keeping the connection. We cannot move out from our parents' house, for instance, if we think with their head. We need them in our life in order to be able to think. The next injunction is don't be well. Sometimes parents, I'm talking about parents, but they can be grandparents, they can be any other parental figure. So sometimes they are sending the message, don't be well, don't be healthy, don't be sane. Because if you are not well, if you have problems, then you need them to take care of you. And again, you cannot go away. You will be there for forever with them because you need them and they need you, of course. They need you to have somebody to care for, and you need them because you need somebody who will care for you. And the last one on the right side is don't be a child. Yeah, I talked about this one a little bit before. Sometimes you are a child, and our parents are inviting us to be stronger than we are, and they are not ready. They are not able to recognize that we are a children. We are children. We are a child at that moment. And the worst of all, it's a general don't. Whatever you are doing, do not. You're not okay no matter what you're doing or no matter how you are. This is very, very, very negative, and it is creating a very powerful pain, very strong pain in ourselves. It is very hard to overcome, but it is not impossible. And what we are doing to overcome any of these and all of these is that we are developing the counter injunctions we can see here. Yeah, so to prevent drowning, we are keeping these and developing these to be able to survive. And the first one is try hard. You're trying hard to do whatever you have to do to survive. The other driver is hurry up. Sometimes our parents are sending the message that we are okay if we hurry up to do what they want us to do. When they want to go somewhere and we are little children and we are walking too slowly, they are sending the message that we should hurry up, we should move faster, we should not be in their way, we should not be trouble for them, and so on. The middle one from here, the middle driver, is please. It refers to others, of course. It's not pleasing our own need, but pleasing other people's need. And again, usually it is about parents. Parents are sending us a message that we are okay as long as we are doing what they want us to do. The other one is be perfect. Sometimes one example is a father or a mother who wants us to be perfect at school, to have very good grades and to be perfect at what we are doing. And if we are perfect, they can accept us. You are okay as long as you are perfect. Basically, this is the message. And the last one, again, I already talked about this one, be strong. So don't be a child, don't feel emotions and so on. Be strong as long as you're not making troubles by being yourself, by having emotions, by having needs, by wanting to belong to the family or to your peers and so on. As long as you are strong, you are okay. Yeah, and this is the way we managed to survive until the present days. By creating a compromise between these injunctions, which are pulling us down, and the drivers, which are our solution to survive. And again, let's go a bit down in this article. We can see here a few emotions, feelings, we can experiment in this situation. One of them is shame. Sometimes we have the feeling, the thought that we are bad, we are evil, we are a mistake, that we are a monster, that we are disgusting, or that even we are possessed. Another thing which we could feel and think is that we are rejected. We could feel the rejection. We could feel that I am a burden. We are unwanted. We are nobody wants to spend time with us, and so on. And of course, all of them somehow create the feeling that the inferiority feeling that we are not good enough. Other people are okay and we are not okay. I'm not good enough. I'm stupid. I'm worthless. I'm boring. I'm hopeless, and so on. And of course, we are damaged. Something is wrong with us. We have this feeling and this thought that something is wrong with us, that we are a failure, that we are damaged in a way. And another option for us is to be arrogant, to somehow have the feeling that it's not the true feeling, the core feeling, but this is what we somehow sometimes feel that we are better than any other people, that we are right and they are wrong. It is a way by which we are somehow covering up for everything else we already talked about, of the inferiority, the rejection feeling we have, the shame, and so on. And in the end, we have here abandonment. Sometimes we draw the conclusions that nobody cares about us, that we are alone in this world, that we don't matter for anybody, that we cannot trust anybody. And of course, it is very, very difficult to survive when we have these thoughts and feelings and emotions and so on. So, what we are doing right now as adults is that we are um, choosing between the injunctions and the drivers we developed when we were children, and are trying our best to survive. And the solution is to learn to swim, and to somehow fix these injunctions in therapy, to talk about them, to realize that these are not true. It is not true that you're not allowed to feel. You're free to feel, and it is okay to feel any kind of feelings you feel. It is okay to exist no matter what. Even if you're not perfect, you're okay. It is okay to be close, it is okay to grow up, it is okay to belong, to make it, to have success, to be important. It is okay. It is okay to be you the way you are. It is okay to think, it is okay to be healthy, and it is okay to be a child if you're a child, and even if you're an adult right now, it is okay to behave like a child if that is what you want to do. If you're enjoying something, for instance, and you're behaving like a child, it is okay. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you're not doing anything wrong to nobody, it is okay. And going back a little bit to the drivers you can see here, it is okay to try hard. And by this I mean that it is okay not to quit too easily. But if you're doing it too much, if you're trying too hard, then it is not okay. It is okay to hurry up. You don't need to fall asleep on the way. But again, if you're hurrying up too much, then you could fall. It's not okay. And going to please others. It is okay to please others. Of course, it's a nice thing to please our friends, our family, and so on, to do nice things for them. But it is okay to do them as long as we want to do them, as long as doing what we are doing is okay for us. Sometimes what's happening is that we are pleasing others and we are forgetting about ourselves. And this is not okay. And again, to be perfect, it is okay to want to be perfect, to do as good as you can do what you have to do. But again, if you are not finishing what you have to do because it is not perfect yet, then of course it is not okay, because maybe you have a deadline, maybe you have a time limit when you need to send in something for the office or something. And if it's not perfect yet and you're not sending in your paper for school or whatever else, then it's not okay. It is not beneficial for you to have this be perfect drive that strong and that present in your life. And the last driver, be strong. of course, sometimes we need to be strong. We are adults now, and sometimes we need to contain ourselves. We need to have our emotions in control. But maybe if something happened inside myself and I am in a meeting with my colleagues or with my boss, I won't start crying there. But if I feel like crying, it is okay not to forget that and to somehow hide my feelings, but to get in touch with them a bit later maybe. Maybe it is okay to go home and think about what happened, and if I feel like crying, to cry there. Or maybe going in therapy, why not, and talking about what I experimented and cry there if I feel like crying. It is okay to be yourself and to have emotions and to manifest emotions in a healthy way. So by learning to swim is by knowing what are our injunctions, which of them are in our mind and heart, and what are the drivers, how we tend to somehow manage these injunctions, and to find a balance between them. Yeah, so what we really need are permissions. We need permissions for our injunctions. Like I said before, it is okay to feel, to exist, to be close, to grow up, and so on. Yeah, so we need to cut out these don'ts before the words. Yeah, and to offer permissions. Instead of don't feel, to offer permission, it is okay to feel. And related to the drivers, again, it is okay not to do them so much. They have a positive side, but if you are overdoing them, they become negative. So, these are my thoughts about injunctions and drivers. I hope I was clear enough and you understood what are they about. If you have questions, please feel free to leave a comment in the comments section of this video. And if you found useful this short introduction in injunctions and drivers, please share this material so your friends could also see it and maybe benefit from it and learn something about themselves. Until next time, all the best and see you soon.